The Leicester machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content, like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live. Thanks to our sponsors, Everards, Barlow Blinds, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hollogram, Take Me, Newby Co, and the Foxes Arms and Rainbows. We are live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome back to Leicester Fan TV for another Fan Zone show. Tonight it is the Foxes Focus show. You may know me, you may not. My name's Locks. And tonight we'll be talking about all sorts, as always. We've got Plymouth up next. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about who we might see starting the game. You know, Ricky P, as it says in the title, who fills in for Ricky P, who is suspended because of 5 yellow cards picked up over the course of the season. So who are you going to see start there? Who would you like to see start there this weekend? Let me know in the comments. And we might also talk as well about a couple of rumours that are on the grapevine about player sales. And one of them includes Kelechi Iheanacho. So get your comments in, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Let me know everything you want to talk about tonight in the comments, and we'll get right into it in just 30 seconds. There we go. As I said before, that nice little video, please, this is the Foxes Focus show. If you can get your comments in, let me know anything you want to talk about tonight. We will get straight into it. Already here in the chat, and I think he was here at 11:15 p.m. yesterday, so he's not here now. Nigel, hi Lux, chatting from the Gold Coast, Australia. Nigel, mate, even though it was 24 hours ago, well, a bit less than 24 hours ago, thanks for getting your comment in. Much appreciated. Look where we are, not even in top gear. Yeah, I mean, I think we can all agree we're not in top gear, or you'd hope we're not in top gear. But we are still top of the league. We are still winning games. We are still winning enough games to get promoted as champions. Let's not forget that. As it says here, during the broadcast, you can support the page by sending stars, digital gift that helps me earn extra money. That's automatic in the chat. However, if you want to do that, please feel free to do so. But obviously, there's no pressure because Leicester Fan TV is completely free by the fans, for the fans. We need to kill off teams when we are in charge of the game. I mean, it's a conversation that we've had multiple times on this channel, pretty much every week. Even as a super positive fan like myself, can admit that, yes, we do need to kill off teams a lot more than we do. It's not good enough at times. But I like to look on the flip side and think, you know, we're not killing off teams and we're still winning as many games as we are. You know, obviously a part of that is because of a lack of quality of finishing in this division from the other teams, but it doesn't matter. You only play who's in the division, and if the teams in the division aren't good, all we can do is show up and win, and we have done that more times than not this season. A lot more times than not. Andy Medhurst is here. Our players seem to be picking up a lot of yellow cards. Yeah. But is that a bad thing, Andy? Because I know, like, in the past, we've not really had that tactical foul side of our game. I think a lot of it is tactical fouls as well, to be honest with you, Andy. I think we pick up a lot of tactical fouls. But to be fair, we have only lost Winks and Ricky P. and Winks, Ricky P. and Vestergaard. They're the three players that we have lost out to suspension so far this season, which it's not too bad. They're three defensive players, right? I know Winks is obviously a midfielder, but you know, he plays a bit deeper than everyone else in midfield. So it's to be expected he picks up more yellow cards than the others. And obviously Vestergaard centre back, you know, is what it is. He picks up a lot of early yellow cards in games. At least it's not a red card. And then Ricky P, as someone has asked here, Ricky P's got a suspension because of 5 yellow cards he's picked up so far this season. It will be reset when he's back, and then, you know, If he gets another 5, he's suspended again for a game. Let's go into this comment first from Andreas Kiprianou, who we worked out lives in Cyprus last week, I think. Why are people so negative? Still, we are top of the league. People still negative. Why? Look, let me be honest with you, Andreas. Sorry, I keep calling you Andreas. I completely agree with you. And to be fair, it is getting tiring. Do I look tired, guys? Do I look tired? Because I am tired of not having to, because I don't have to do anything, but trying to defend the way we play and the style and the way Enzo wants us to play. It's getting tiring now because, fair, and I understand some of the overreaction after a loss, like when we lost to Hull, when we drew to Sheffield Wednesday, for example, when we lost to Leeds, when we lost to, who else did we lose to? Was it Sunderland? I get why people are upset because they think we should be beating these teams, right? But there's certain individuals that moan and moan and moan and moan. And that moaning continues even when we're winning 10 games, 9 games in a row. People are still moaning. 9 games in a row. And there were some people that were still moaning about the way we play. I understand if you don't like the style. Look, it's all preferences, right? So some people prefer the color black or the color green to the color red. We prefer the color blue to the color red. Some people prefer hot dogs, others prefer burgers. Some people prefer tagliatelle, some people prefer penne, right? But to try and act like Enzo needs to justify the way we play. What? We're top of the bloody league. We're going up. What does he need to justify? Every single week in the press conferences, there's a question about, and I know it's the journos, right, asking the question, but there's a reason they're asking the question is because of fans, right? Us Leicester fans. Every week they're being asked, they're asking Enzo, fans are frustrated with the way you play. What can you do to change that? Blah, blah. But every week they're asking about frustration from fans. If you're not enjoying it, don't go. I know that's a really bad way to look at it. It's like the whole, if you're going to moan, don't like. I understand people get annoyed when people say, "Oh, if you don't like it, don't go to the game," because we're all Leicester fans, right? So you want to go to the game through thick or thin. But I just don't understand. Fair enough, if you don't like the style of play, don't like the style of play. Fine, all right, no worries. But then to keep going at it and 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 at it. The fact, to the point where Enzo's having to justify himself and explain why he's going to play this way and why he's not going to change. And that's the other thing, by the way. Enzo's not going to change the way he plays. These top managers work this way. A manager like Enzo Maresca, and I hate to say it, Brendan Rodgers as well, they would rather get sacked playing their way than changing. And it's just how it is. It's how it is. And people will say, well, yeah, exactly. Rodgers yes. But Enzo has us top of the league. Rodgers has always been stubborn, but no one was calling him stubborn when we were second in the Premier League under Rodgers for so long and then fell out. It was when we fell out, that's where it changed. No one questioned Rodgers when we were top 4. No one. Whereas now we're top of the league and people are questioning Enzo. I just don't understand it. If things go tits up, if it's so evident, so obvious that we need to change and he doesn't change, fair enough. I'll hold my hands up and say, look, I've changed my tune now. Yes, Enzo needs to change. But number one, I don't think it will ever happen where he changes. And number 2, things are going well. Even because we've had a few points dropped here and there, things are still going well. I'm seeing people say, yeah, well, it's a Premier League squad. Well, the Premier League squad got relegated, basically. The Premier League squad finished 17th or 18th, sorry, in the Premier League. They're down. not a Premier League squad, and especially not now where we've lost certain people. I want to get some comments on screen, guys, to go through this more. So Phil's in the chat. Evening, Phil, mate. Being stubborn is fine when you are winning. It's when it doesn't work. People ask for a manager not to be stubborn. I agree, Phil, but there has to be a line, Phil, because where do you draw the line? Do you draw after one game? So like one individual game where, let's say, for 85 minutes or 90 minutes, it's not worked. And let's say we lose after that. Is it at that point where you say, he's stubborn, it needs to change, blah, blah, blah? Or is it after a run of 5-10 games where things are going bad and he then needs to change? That's what I don't understand. I don't know what people are referring to as you need to change. Because if it's after one individual game, nah, that's a load of rubbish. I'm sorry. But yeah, fair enough. 10 games, if you're losing a lot of points, then yes, obviously something needs to change. We know this style of football works. We know this style of football works because Vincent Kompany had a similar style last season, won the championship. We are top of the league playing this way, and we're on course to go up with a record amount of points, by the way, may I add. Best start to a championship season ever, may I add. The style clearly works. So let's not question him. Let's trust him. Trust Enzo. Trust him. That's all I'm saying. I did see another comment from Phil, which I wanted to bring up quickly. I prefer more direct, exciting football, but as long as we are winning and get promotion, I'm happy. I think fans can ask questions, though, about the way we play. Yeah, I get the ask questions, but don't you, like, I know we spoke on Monday, Phil, but for me, it's getting relentless. Like, certain people were still talking about and asking questions when we were winning 9 games in a row. And for me, that's poppycock, really. It's madness. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from. If we could take our chances, less people would moan. Yeah, but exactly. I agree, cool Chris. But it's not Enzo. Yeah, I know what you're saying. The big test is when we play Ipswich. Yeah, I mean, personally, I think we'll see Ipswich off, to be honest with you. But yeah, we don't know for sure. They look good. They look like the best team in the championship this season behind Leicester. That's right, behind Leicester. We are the better team. So it's going to be exciting to see what happens. Massive game. I'm pretty sure they play Leeds just before us or just after us, which is going to be interesting who they rest. Don't they have one on like the 23rd and then 26th? But do they rest against Leeds or do they rest against us, guys? What do you think? For me, they should rest against Leeds because their fight is with Leeds, not with us. We're clear. Oh, thank you, Simon. Simon agrees with me. Much appreciated, Simon. Enzo has said that his midfield and especially KDH needs to produce more chances. Yeah, I would agree with that. Scott says, Locks, question for you is if fans are frustrated, the opposition teams statistically are getting more shots and shots on target. Locks, question for you is it fans are frustrated the opposition teams statistically are getting more shots and shots on target compared to us? I don't know if they are. I think most games, Scott, we dominate in every stat, right? We have more possession, we have more shots, we have more big chances. That's the important one, because if you've got 10 shots that are outside the box compared to 3 chances that are around the penalty area, big difference. The team with 3 chances around the penalty area, much more likely to score. And then that leads me on to the other stat, which is a big new stat in football these days, which is XG. We seem to have a higher XG than the majority of teams we play against. So, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. What's not to like about the style? We have the ball all the time. Do create more chances in just about every game for me. Plastic fans, stop moaning. Start supporting Saturday. James says, where is James gone? He was just there. Joe, I don't think we score enough goals. I would love to score more goals, James. Do I think we would have scored more goals? Yes, I did think we would score more goals. Do I want us to score more goals? Yes, I wanted us to score more goals. Do I expect us to score loads of goals? No. I honestly couldn't care less with 1-0 wins or 2-1 wins every week, the odd 0-0 or the odd 1-1. If it means we go up, we go up. That's it. Curtis says, Enzo doesn't need to change, and I agree with Phil. If things aren't working, then we do need to change it. No need to yet. Only thing we need to stop still is the suicidal passes we're making around the back. And yes, we do need to finish our chances, but that ain't Enzo's fault. That's the players. Couldn't agree with you more, Curtis. Other than that, happy with the way we play. Phil's here with some sense, hopefully. Overall, we are top. It's a great position to be in. The way we will judge Enzo and our season overall is at the end of the season. Until then, the debate and fan chat is what we are all about. Yep. Curtis says, I don't think he needs to change. I think we need more solutions. That's a good point. I remember in an earlier stream where you said the same people that are slamming Enzo for playing this way are the same people who will moan about conceding more goals. Enzo's not the problem. Thank you very much. Thank you very much that Cool Chris remembered this. Anyone in the chat, please read this comment. It's what I said last week, and I stand by it more than any other opinion I've ever had. The same people slamming Enzo for the way we play now are the same that will moan about conceding more goals. I promise you that. If we open up more and attack more, we will naturally concede more goals. And that is when they will be moaning about that. People will moan about Enzo apparently not being able to improve the defense. Our defense has been great this season. Are we still the lowest conceding team? I'm sure we are. Someone correct me. If not, we're second. If we open up more, look at Leeds. Even Leeds concede a lot more goals than us because they play a bit more direct, a bit more open. It's the same. Just comment. Locks, how are you feeling about the points record? Yeah. It's more than a few weeks, mate. It was July before the season started. I made that prediction. I still think it's less likely to come true now, but I still think it will. I'm sticking by my guns until it's physically impossible. Then I'm going to stick by it. But I think we're definitely, no matter what, I think we'll get 100 points. Just whether or not we beat the 106, so 107 or more. Leeds, Borough, and Sheff Wednesday, we all had more shots on target. Leeds, Borough, and Sheffield Wednesday all had more shots on target than us. Yeah, there are, like I said, I'm not saying every team. We had more shots on target than every team. But my point is the big chances, Phil. If you actually go through and check the big chances in our games, I think we're probably got more than most teams. Not all of them, but most teams that we've come up against. Time not to get carried away. Need to keep grounded. I think the players have kept grounded, to be honest with you, Wayne. We've had a couple of problem games. Leeds, Hull, Sheffield Wednesday, but it's nothing to worry about. Enzo said from day one he wants to get the players grounded. He wants to sort out the mentality at the club because that was, if I was going to swear, I'd swear right here. The mentality before Enzo came in was shocking. And I think he's turned it around, and I hope he continues to keep them grounded. Do you think we'll buy a striker? If Daka leaves. Well, we'll get on to that in a sec to talk briefly. We'll talk about it at the end, but there's rumours about Iheanacho leaving the club in January. So we'll talk about that. But yeah, it's a tough one. It is a tough one. How do you feel about the points? Oh, the same question. Yeah, I'm fine with it, mate. I'm fine with it. I hate the plastic fan comments. Yeah, the plastic fan comments are a bit too much. Apologies if I did bring one of them comments up on screen. I think I brought a comment up that I agreed with everything else, not a plastic. I'm not calling anyone a plastic fan. I'm very much of the opinion, even if you've got like we've seen recently, Zimbabwe fans, right? Not Zimbabwe, Zambia. Is that Zambian fans? Even if you're now a Leicester fan, just because Daka plays here, we had it with Mahrez as well, Algeria, right? We had a load of Algeria fans. I still see them as Leicester fans. So yeah, no plastic fans, especially in this chat. There's no plastic fans, but I think it's an insult that is thrown around quite a lot. However, it comes out of frustration because of how flippity, I want to say flippity flappity some fans are, but yeah, no plastic. We have the best defense in the championship this season. Thank you very much for confirming. Exactly. That would only be negatively impacted if we had a change in style of football. But again, I'm not going to talk about a change of style of football because it's never going to happen under Enzo. We need to stop all these silly passes around the back. No need for it. Wayne, again, I'm sorry. I've got to disagree. It's the style. It's the system. It's called playing out from the back. It's called inviting the press. We are inviting the press of the other team, hoping to draw them out a little bit and then open them up and we can play through. Doesn't always happen. It's happened quite a bit. We have had quite a few goals from it, from inviting a press. But yes, I think the mistakes that have been made during the passing at the back has been really bad from multiple people. Herman's son more recently. But it's what the manager wants, and they can only improve. They can only improve. Actually, can't believe people are out there complaining about the manager. Top of the league, 15 wins out of 19. You have told me, if you had told me at the start of the season, I would have snapped your hand off. Joe, I think everybody in the chat and anybody who has been moaning about Enzo, if you told any of them 15 wins from 19, you'd get a lot of people snapping your hands off, even the ones that are now moaning. I think we have to give Enzo more time and definitely a few windows to get players in that will suit his system, as I feel it works, but maybe the players we have just aren't able to produce expectations. Sorry, guys, I've got something in the back of my stuck in the back of my throat. I've just had a bit of chicken and I think I've got something stuck in the back of my throat. So sorry if you see me pulling weird faces. We need to see Cannon now. Well, we're definitely going to see him in January, Wayne, 100%, because of the African Cup of Nations. Daka, Andy and Acha are away, so it'll just be Vardy and Cannon. So there's no doubt we'll see him in January. But yeah, I would like to see him a bit earlier, see what he's got to his game. It'll be interesting. Locks, have you seen the YouTube about the manager explaining the formation? Absolutely. Guys, after this show, not now, after the show, go onto YouTube and type in the coach's voice. Enzo Maresca's done a breakdown of his system, of his tactic. Yeah. Don't know why people moan about the way we play. It's refreshing to see a new manager or a new style and the smiles on our players' faces. 100%. The story of the year is the improvement at the back, especially Fast and Vesty. Especially Vesty, mate. Especially Vesty. Adam Tucker says, you have a good moaner on Leicester Fan TV. Won't mention any names, but will be on at 10 a.m. Sunday. He won't be happy with that. There's someone else as well, Adam. There's someone else. But no, I'm joking. I mean, me and Phil spoke about this on Monday, right? It's all down to perspective. It's all down to half full, half empty. I look at it as we've been relegated. We are doing everything we can to go back up. Enzo has turned the club around, mentality, football-wise, all sorts. And I look at it as I don't feel comfortable in bringing up any type of negatives this season regarding the style of play, because the style of play has got us top of the league, winning 15 games out of 19 and having the best start to a championship season ever. I understand what people are saying about the passing out the back. It's the style of play, though. You're always going to be at risk of losing the ball every now and then. Yeah, I mean, Joe, to be honest with you, mate, I would much prefer to pass it around the back and look for openings rather than just booting it upfield and letting one of their centre-backs win the ball. And there we go, start again. Now they've now got possession. We haven't. If that's what people would prefer, just booting it up, then maybe travel back to 2016 and beyond. Locks, you mentioned about Iniacho and Daka, etc. Obviously leaving, but with that not starting until middle of Jan, they could be moved on. Yeah, let's talk about that. I'll come on to it in just a second, mate, Scott. Adam says, glass is full, mate, top of the league, and the club looks in a better place. Adam, mate, I need to go out for a pint with you, bro. You are a good guy. You are a good guy. You have a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom. I would love to go for a beer with you. Yes, absolutely. I don't think Jamie is moaning. I think if we were a bit more direct, Jamie would be fine with style. Yes, but the style isn't direct. It's not a direct style. It's like saying, I would like a French Ferrari. No, can't happen, because Ferraris are Italian, right? I'm not getting at you, by the way, Wayne. I'm just trying to... It's not a direct style of football. It's not what he wants. It's not going to change. If you're on about being quicker, then yeah. What do you mean? I can't believe you named him Wayne. Named who Wayne? Yeah, it's just a style. It's just a style. It's not going to change. If you want it to be quicker, I get that, because sometimes when we're on a counter or counter pressing, we're not quick enough with it. But yeah, it's just not the style. It won't be more direct. It's just the way it is. Me and Adam are going for a beer sometime soon. Me and Adam are going for the... Yeah, what I mean... when I mean direct, moving the ball quicker, yeah, if you're on about moving the ball quicker in terms of getting forward quicker, yes, slightly. Don't agree with it massively. I don't agree with just throwing people forward quickly, because then it leaves us open. But the way we're playing now, just a little bit quicker, I would agree. But I don't see any problems with the system or the style of play, to be honest with you. I don't think it's a big enough issue. I don't think it would score as many more goals, if basically is what I'm trying to say, Wayne. Names the moaner. Yeah, Adam. Jamie can't be annoyed with me, Wayne. He's got to be annoyed with you. You named him. Simon says Jamie is old-fashioned. You don't like. Yeah, but I get it. Because as I just said, I understand Jamie's point of view for not liking it, because I like the color blue more than the color red. Other people like the color red more than the color blue. I like golden Labradors and dachshunds, whereas some people prefer XL bullies. You know, so people can enjoy the football and not enjoy the football. The part I don't like of it is the constant barrage of moaning, basically, about the system. Just say you don't like it. It's fine. I prefer attacking football. No problem. But it's when people come out and say Enzo needs to change. He needs to change the way we play. He needs to go more attacking. He needs to be more direct. Enzo does not need to do any of them things, and he will not do any of them things. One thing that could worry fans is the urgency we show if we're trailing with little time left. For example, almost everything else is good as it is. Yeah. One thing we could worry fans is the urgency. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Again, it's about speeding it up. I don't think Enzo... I feel like if we speed the game up too much, then we will lose the basics of the system. Football's about tempo a lot of the time. You can't play, you can't play this style of football with the tempo of Ranieri's 2016 system, basically, is what I'm trying to say. It will change. Somebody said here, Vestergaard plays a big part in slowing that game down. A good thing, I think, especially if you've got a moment in the game where the opposition are on top. Yeah, slowing the game down is a big part of a tactic of tactical nous, really. If a team are on top, you slow the game down. It's why you see players going down with head injuries and substitutions being made when a team's on top, because it slows the game down, and sometimes it's important. And if we're just going end to end to end to end, popping off, trying to cancel each other out all the time, you're going to concede more goals. You can leave yourself open. Big problems. I'll take a 1-0 90th minute winner every week if it means we go up. Absolutely. I didn't see anyone moaning with the 1-0 bloody FA Cup final score. I don't know about you. Why is my name not popping up? It's Curtis. You will need to... I think you're on the Leicester Fan TV chat page. Instead, you need to go to the Leicester Fan TV page. Just no, not Fan TV chat, just Fan TV. Or just head over to YouTube. Your name will come up. I couldn't agree with you more. Thank you very much. With the build-up being slow, it gives the opponents time to regroup. Yeah, but come on, Andy, man. You're a smart guy, Andy. There's pros and cons. There are pros and cons to every tactic, every system, every style of play. Like, we had negatives to our game in 2016. We had negatives to our game 2 years ago. We've got negatives to our game now. But there's a lot of positives. And, yeah, one of the cons are when you're not going for it and you're not building up or countering with complete pace, you do give the opponents time to regroup. I understand that. But there's also a lot of pros to it as well, Andy, which we've seen this season, hence why we're top of the league. Craig says it's slow and boring, and I think that's what Enzo wants, to put the opposition to sleep and we come alive in the last 25 minutes. Well, we definitely do come alive in the last 25 minutes of games because we've got a record of 17 goals scored and two conceded. 17 goals scored and 2 conceded in the last 25 minutes of games. If that doesn't tell you what you need to know, nothing will. Nothing will. We tire the opposition out with our constant passing all game, and we come alive later on. I think we could come alive more by making substitutions, and that's the one negative or the one complaint I have at Enzo Maresca is the substitutions. I would like to see Tom Cannon. If we're 1-0 up, what's the risk? Bring Tom Cannon on. Let him try and nick a goal. But yeah, that's pretty much the only negative I have for Enzo Maresca, just substitutions. Konstantinos Stefanidis. I feel like I'm saying the surname wrong. Konstantinos Stefanidis. I'm going to go with that. Best regards from Hellenic Foxes. Come on, you Blues. Have faith. We are going up. Absolutely. They seem to be the same subs too. Some of them are good subs. I didn't really like it when Vardy was left on at, was it Sheffield Wednesday? I want to say. Left on the whole game. Would have liked to have seen Cannon there. Subs used better. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Move the ball quicker with attacking intent when we win the ball back in our half, then it doesn't give the other team. Yeah, I mean, I've already gone over this 5 times. There's pros and cons to every tactic, Mark. This is one of the cons, that the opposition team regroup the defense. But if we go for it more, if we're more quick, if we're more direct, if we're more attacking, we only leave ourselves open as well. You've just got to imagine it. If we've just won the ball back and we throw, 6 players forward, right? 6 players forward. Let's say the other team counter press. They counter press and they win the ball back instantly. We've now got 6 players forward. We're open at the back. Problems. Whilst we have the ball, the opposition cannot score. 100%. The football we play is to try and pull players out of position. That's how we win games. If the other team doesn't press, it doesn't work. But when they do, we look class. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Finally, guys, wanted to quickly chat about Iheanacho Daka. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to stay, who you think is going to go. Also, I want to know, who are we going to see replacing Ricardo Pereira on Saturday? Who's going to replace Ricardo Pereira? I'm thinking maybe Hamza Chowdhury, probably, more than likely. It's what we've seen previously. I think it'll be Hamza that comes in for Ricardo. But yeah, let me know. Let me know what you think. I think it's definitely going to be Hamza Chowdhury. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I'm talking on Kelechi Iheanacho. Rumours today that he's linked with a move away to Crystal Palace Football Club come January. Can you see that happening, guys? Do the club want to get rid of him? Because if the club want to get rid of him, I think he will go. However, if he wants to stay, if the club wants him to stay, I think he might stay. I think he might hang around. What's the point in going to Crystal Palace when we're going to be in the Premier League next season anyway? And it wouldn't surprise me if we finish above Palace next season, to be honest. I'm a fan of Nacho. I really am. I think he's the best finisher at the club right now. Obviously, Vardy's the smarter player. Nacho's a donkey when it comes to using his brain. But I'm a big fan of him. I think he's got a hell of a left foot on him. Just very inconsistent, as we all know. But yeah, let me know if you think Nacho should stay. Should I stay or should I go now? Should he stay or should he go now? Maybe we start something in the January transfer window, like a special show called Should He Stay or Should He Go? And it will just be me dancing like as the intro to Should He Stay or Should He Go now? Yeah, I'm going to do that. Good idea. The problem we have with Iheanacho is either way, is we either say to him, sign a contract, or you can go in January, regardless of the asking fee. Yeah, I would agree. Maybe Nacho will stay, but I can't see Daka staying at all. I mean, what's he played, like 3-4 minutes since the summer? I don't think he's got a chance in hell he stays. I'm sorry, but Nacho had enough chances to impress. I think he did impress at times, to be fair, Andy. Not all the time. I think he has impressed at times. I think he's been a 6 or 7. I'd say a 6 out of 10 this season. Vardy's probably been a 7. Vardy's got the edge. But yeah, I see what you're saying. What was that comment? To replace Ricardo, well, it's going to be Hamza 100%, but I wouldn't mind Mark Albrighton. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Mark Albrighton hasn't really played centre midfield before or defensive midfield, but I think he's probably got the attributes to do so. But that's going to be it, guys. If you can do me one big favour tonight, and I'm really asking a big favour, if you can please hit a like and, more importantly, just hit subscribe. It takes 2 minutes. It takes 2 minutes. What am I on about? No, it doesn't. It takes 2 seconds. Head to YouTube, hit subscribe. There are some people watching this that don't subscribe. So if you can, please, and hit the bell button as well, because then you'll be notified on your little handheld, portable telephone device. Look at that as well. Ooh. The GOAT. You'll be notified when we're live. So that's going to be it. Make sure, can we come for a beer as well? Maybe Andy can come for a beer. Yeah. If you don't bring up any negativity. Hey. No, I'm joking, man. Yeah, let's go. Let's all go for a beer sometime. Let's sort something out. But yeah. The first beer is on me for Adam because he's nice and positive. The negative people have to buy me the drinks. All right. But yeah, we'll sort something out. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. As I said, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Much appreciated. We'll see you. I'll see you next Thursday on Leicester Fan TV. But we've got the tactics talk tomorrow from 2 people that don't like the style of football. So they'll probably be telling us to go for it. Enjoy that one. And we'll have the match on Saturday, Jamie's show on Sunday at 10 a.m, where you can get even more positivity, eh? So much appreciated. See you all guys soon and have a lovely evening and a lovely weekend. And as always, come on, you foxes.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, Everards, Barlow Blinds, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hollogram, Take Me, Newby Co, The Fox's Arms and Rainbows. Run by the fans, for the fans. Follow us on socials at Leicester Fan TV and visit LeicesterFanTV.com for all the latest news, views and videos.